In chapter 1 of lesson 4, in the first part, it is going to review all the different types of functions, and we covered function modifier, and we have visibilities modifier that control when and where functions can be called, and the pirate means it can call inside the contract, but it cannot be called by the inherit contract. And internal is like pirate, but can be called by contract that inherits from this one. And external can only be called outside the contract, and public can called by both internally and externally. And we also have state modifier, and will tell us that running the functions no data will be saved or changed. And period tell us that not only does the function not save any data, but it also doesn't read any data from the blockchain. And both of these don't cause any gas if they called externally. And remember this, if they called externally from outside contract, but they do cause gas if called internally by another functions. And we also created some modifiers, custom modifiers like only owners, and it should be already inside our contract. And maybe we can try to find the only owner here, and above level. So here we should have the above level modifier, and this modifier can pass some arguments. For this, we can define some custom logic to determine how they affect A functions. And this modifier can be stacked together to use, so we can use both only modifier, only owners, and another modifier. And in this chapter, we are going to introduce one more function called Payable. And payables are part of the what makes Solidity and Ethereum so cool, because if you create an API on a normal web server, you cannot send any currency with your function call. You cannot send Bitcoins or US dollars, but in Ethereum, because both money and data and the contract code itself all live on Ethereum, it is possible that you can call a function to pay the money to the contract at the same time. So this allowed some really interesting logic like below. And for example, this is a contract online store, and we have the function buy something, and this, if you want to buy this thing, you have to pay 0.001 Ether. So it has to check to make sure that this amount of Ether was sent to the function call. If this is correct, then we can transfer the digital products or items to the callers, and this is message.senders. And if you remember, the message.sender is the address which the user call this contract or call this function. And here message.values is a way to see how much Ether was sent to the contract, and Ether is built-in unit. And what happens here is that someone could call a function from Web3.js and just online store.buy something from the default account, and the value is the two-way 0.001, and the value field is where the JavaScript function call specifies how much Ether to send. And if you think the transaction like an envelope, the parameter you send to the function call the content to the letter you put inside, then adding a value is like pushing cash into the envelope. So by using the value, you can push the cash inside the envelope. The letter and the money gets delivered together to the recipient. So if a function marks payable and you try to send Ether to it, if not marked payable, the function will reject your transaction. So we go to the test. Let's create a payable function in our zombie game. Let's say our game has a feature where the user can pay either to level up their zombie, and just like our mobile game, the either will get stored in the contract which you own. This is a simple example of how you make money on your games. And define a uint named level up 3, and which is equal to 0.001 either. So we have to back to the top and divide at this place. So we type uint and level up 3 is equal to 0.001, and then we create a function level up. So we type function level up, and then inside this we have only the zombie ID. So we type uint and we copy the zombie ID, and we type external payable, and the function should be first called require, and the require is message.value is double equal to level up 3. If this is correct, then we can level up the zombie. So we add the level by 1. So we copy this and paste to here, and then we check the answer. Now we have to add the either, and also remember we have to add some space between the payable and the curly bracket, and then we go to check the answer. Now we can go to next chapter.